Grace and peace to you from God our Creator and our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. It has been an interesting few days and weeks, has it not?
Yes.
Grocery stores, bulk stores have been jam-packed in an effort to stock up, to be prepared. For what? Well, that's the great unknown. We wash our hands, we sanitize our hands. For what? A terrifying unknown. And there are many of us who see and hear about this virus not knowing the truth. But we know about an unknown that has caused many of us to panic. So now we sit and wait in our homes, most of us. Yes, out of concern. Yes, out of worry. But for what? An unknown. And since we can't define this unknown, what do? We carry it around and we wonder. Yet I wonder if our worry and our anxiety, which is justified, is the only thing that we should be really considering. I wonder if we are missing something that really is an answer. Well, I believe we do. And we are missing that one thing. A few years ago, a very dear friend of mine was called home to be with her Lord and Savior. She was a priest at the St. Francis Episcopal Church in Fair Oaks, which is now closed. I miss my friend very dearly. And I miss many things about her, especially her humor, her zest for life, but most of all, her wisdom that she would extend to me often. I recall one day I was having it rough. There was too many stressful things on my plate in my life, and I wasn't sure how I was going to handle it all. She, being a pastor, was very pastoral to me, listening to my concerns as I explained the height, the depth, and the width of my issues. And then she suddenly stopped me and said, "Pastor Scott, do you know what you need?" No. What? You need a garbage bucket. A garbage bucket where you can imagine dumping all of that stuff that you are dealing with and throw it all away. Put it in your bucket. And at the time, it was very comforting. But after a while, I actually stopped imagining it. Until I read our gospel for today. Here we have a Samaritan woman who was coming to a well with a bucket. A bucket in her hand to draw some water for her daily needs. And sitting at the well was a man who noticed that her bucket was actually already full, not with water, but all of her brokenness, her isolation, her emptiness, her incompleteness, her fear had filled her bucket to the brim. This man knew her truths that she carried around and offered to her the gift of living water. She offered her new life, a new truth to live her life rather than what was in her bucket. For up to this point, she defined herself by all of these things, and others did too. For in that time, in the first century, when it came to the Jewish culture, if you were a woman, you were defined by the man that you were married to. In this case, she had been married 5 times, and now was with someone else. And notice that she was coming at the noon of the day, not early in the morning when everyone else came. So she was shunned from the rest of society. Just her and her bucket. One could say that she was worshiping a lot of unknowns that caused her to hesitate and to live the life that God had called her to live. Can you go to verse 22 for me? Starting with verse 22, you worship what you do not know. We worship what we know, for salvation is from the Jews. Now the idea is that it's not, the little social club of the Jews. It is coming from the heart of where the Jews are coming from. Okay? But the hour is coming, and it is now here, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father seeks such as these to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. And the woman said to him, I know that the Messiah is coming, who is called the Christ. When he comes, he will proclaim all things to us. And Jesus said to her, I am he, the one who is speaking to you. So in short, Jesus' life is what he's trying to say to her. He has come to save no matter the circumstances, no matter what was being carried in her bucket, no matter what is being carried in our buckets, no matter what we drag around where we don't live our life. I'd like for you to see something amazing. For once she figures out that life is about to change with this water fountain in Christ, she does this. Verse 28. The woman left her water jar and went back to the city. In other words, she left her bucket at the foot of the cross, or the foot of Christ, and trusted that God will see her through all things and give her hope. Push her to live her life as God intended her to be, filled with grace and love and life. And over the next weeks and months, or however long this unknown takes us into, one, we need to take it seriously. But do not lose hope. My hope is for you that God will see us through, that God will see you through all things. So all of you have a bucket with many things that are inside.